Welcome to the Head Wreck podcast, that show where we talk about the things that are wrecking our heads and the things that are wrecking your heads. I'm John Burden. With me, as always, is Alan Ryan. Say hi, Alan. Can't hear you, Alan.
Oh, did it not come true?
It didn't come through. There you are. There now. There you are. Oh, technology! How it wrecks our head.
But I spoke. I don't know why I didn't.
I don't know why, but we want our listeners. We want to hear from you guys, and we have some stuff. But before we get into any of that, we want to hear from you. If we talk about anything here that's relevant to you and wrecks your head, let us know, because we want to know what's wrecking your head as well. You can email us directly at thelads@headwreck.com or on the socials at
Head_rect, where you're going to see pictures of certain things that we might talk about. And most recently has been the hamster soap that we spoke about
Alan's jumping
last
straight
week.
Straight
in.
week. We spoke about hamster soap. So what's hamster soap? We need to explain. I'd never heard this term before, and a listener sent me a picture of pubes on a bar of soap, basically, and called it hamster soap. So have a look at the socials and you'll see what we're talking about. Yes, delicious.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Yeah, I mean, and I think what kind of wrecks heads, I think ultimately is bathroom hygiene in general. I like the hair down
yours
the
or
plug
mine?
hole. Well, only when we shower together, ultimately, from that.
There's a lot of hair in that plug hole. A lot.
But like, you have to take it out, and you pull it out, and it's like, what is this thing? It's like hairy seaweed.
It goes
when
on
you're pulling it out of
forever.
the drain.
Yeah.
Forever. Like, I'm expecting there to be a shark or something at the end of it when I pull it out. Do you know what I mean? You know?
And do you know what's so annoying is when you're pulling out a big lump of clumpy hair out of the drain, and you're like, oh yes, and then it breaks and falls down. You're like, the satisfaction of pulling that out.
But why does it break? Is it like attached to
like a lump of sometimes
soap
there's kind of resistance when you're pulling out. It's caught in the pipes or whatever the hell, and there's a bit of resistance, and then it breaks, it pops, and it snaps and falls back down.
This is a gross conversation.
Maybe there's somebody in there holding on to it.
Putting down like it took a war.
Absolutely gross.
This fella down in the sewers going, that's his diet. He eats. He's like, some ginger hair.
The one thing I've learned, Alan, from this podcast, we don't know where it's going to take us in the conversation. Between the pictures we post, the stories we hear from people, and the stories we talk about, it has taken us to far-flung places, and we've decided to start. What's this podcast number 33? I don't know what it is at this stage now. We've started this podcast with talking about bunged up plug holes.
Hairy, and that's normally more fiber in your diet helps with a bunged up plug hole or a plugged up bung hole. A plugged up bung hole or a bunged up plug hole.
Oh, that's a good one. Listeners, what do you think it is? The lads at
plugged up bung hole or a bunged up plug hole?
Bunged up plug hole, I'd say. Or a plugged up plug hole.
They both evolve around a hairy arsehole.
They do. And well, head hair as well, to be fair, and beard hair, because I am a bearded wanderer. Yeah, so there you go.
And I think if you have females in your household equally as well as, and they would obviously have longer hair.
No, you can't say that. I have there's long hair in our house, never mind gender. Some of my pubes are very long.
No, that's fine. Yeah, and then you piss through it, and then you realize it's not a pube, the way.
Very good.
But I think like recommend is just general bathroom behavior for people. I mean, obviously the hamster soap is a very personal thing. It's normally kind of probably with family members. Typically, it's not going to be randomers.
If someone is going to come over, you're like,
you're shaving your soap.
You're scraping that soap. And let me say, nobody really has bars of soap. I'm surprised by that as well.
I know I do. Yeah.
The odd time there's always one ready to go if you run out of the runny soap. You know what I mean?
That's because it dries out and then it just looks like
vile.
It looks like a 7-week-old bowl of sperm.
It does. Yeah, it gets all creamy on the bottom, crusty on the top. It's like a dirty old sock. It's like, what's her name on? What's the lubricated love sock? Episode number whatever title.
Danny Glover,
our lubricated love sock, of which when Alan had COVID last week, he absolutely destroyed. And he hasn't denied it either. Oh yes. Well, when you say bathroom habits from people, you're talking when someone comes to your house, when you go to someone's house, or
no, because
all households are different, right? We all have different our ways,
But I think mainly in like public toilets a lot of times, it's like people pissing on the seat, people pissing on the wall, people shitting on the back of the door, people doing pretty much everything. Anything goes in certain public bathrooms.
It
But like
absolutely
the
does. Yeah.
smell when you walk in, it's like someone hitting the face with like a dog shit covered spade in the mouth. You're like,
But
what is that
but
smell?
that is the thing, though. Like, I mean, it's public, so there's going to be
Oh yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
there's
But
still loads
but
of
like
people shitting in
but
it, so that's going to
but the
happen.
problem I have is you go in and you go for piss and there's piss all over the seat. I was raised very well to not leave a toilet seat covered in piss. And I
Yes,
feel obliged
yes,
to wipe the toilet seat. Otherwise the person comes in after think it was you. And you end up
yeah.
wiping the toilet seat out of other people's piss that then goes on your finger and like
I know it's
that's what basically
absolutely.
happens.
I know, and I know.
Disgusting.
I feel your pain. I get that too. It has happened to me not so long ago where I went in. Now, when I say public, it was in an office block, so it's not public, but still, you don't know who's
Were you
coming
meant
in,
to be
and
in the
you.
office block? Were you
I
working there?
was. I
Okay.
no, I wasn't
Do
working
you know
there,
this?
but it was an office block toilet.
Did you just
And
wander in because you needed to
I
go for a
did, yeah.
dump
I
and you
just
wandered
had to
in?
piss, right?
Fair play to you. No,
No, I
no,
didn't.
I
No,
get it.
no,
So
I
I
was
get it.
there. It was business. And when I went in, I was like, oh, this place is really fancy. Wow. And I went into the Jacks. I was like, fuck me. This place is not fancy. It stank. It
No, the
absolutely
place
stank.
is,
And there
but the
was
staff
piss
aren't.
everywhere. The problem I have with
I
that,
get
right?
it.
I had documents in my hand. And usually when you go into a fancy place, there's a little shelf or somewhere at least to leave documents. I had to piss, right? I had
Okay.
to shove, Alan, I had to shove the document because it was work. I had to shove the documents down the side of my trousers because
Oh
there
yeah,
was
I get
nowhere
that.
to leave them
Yeah,
while
I've done
I
it on my phone
pee.
before
There was
using the
nothing else.
elastic.
It was
Yeah,
just so irritating. It stank. I had to press the flusher with my foot because there was no way I was touching it. So that left a dirty
yeah.
mark from my foot on the flusher. But when I was flushing, the flusher was behind the toilet seat, so I couldn't lift the toilet seat to clean the. Oh, it was a whole thing. It was just a thing. It was just.
And
It shouldn't be that way. Not in
but
this.
what also wrecks me about a lot of public toilets is they have like a half-inch gap between when the door closes, and at the right angle you can look in and you can look out. You
Why
know the
are you
toilets I'm talking
looking
about?
into people in the toilet, Alan?
Well,
Why are
no, it's more me
you?
looking out. It's
Yeah,
me looking.
sure. Well, you said
It's like a
looking in.
real
That's you
slender
said
glory
looking
hole.
in.
Do you know the way sticking your dick through the
It's
small
a
little
glory
gap hoping
slit.
someone walks past.
It's a glory
Glory
slit.
slit. Yeah,
I
glory
think we've
slit.
just coined. We've made another invention, Alan.
Another
A
one.
glory slit.
A glory slit.
Oh yeah, glory
Yeah,
slit.
but
I'm
it's
writing
just
that
I
down.
know. Yeah, it's like the mankiness of it. And look, I know you're absolutely right. It's public toilets, but do people just not care? I'm assuming just people just don't care.
Well, no, I think that's it. But like to be fair, we all have toilet, and sometimes you're dying to go to the
Yeah,
toilet. Have you ever been in a
sure.
public toilet where
You've hovered.
this is so? I realize this is a great morning radio for people if they're listening in the morning having their cornflakes. Where you've really had to go, and you went, and you were embarrassed because there was people around you, and you held it in better than they did, and you heard them and all their atrocities that they're doing in the stall next to you. But then when you come out, the cleaner is waiting outside
Nothing
waiting to
worse.
clean. It's like, oh my God. And you just want to go, that smell was here before I came in. But you both know it wasn't.
No, exactly. And you can see the face going, oh, for fuck's sake. And then,
Yeah,
but
I
what I
know.
do is I go into the bathroom, see when it was last clean. I'm going, all right, they cleaned about 40 minutes ago.
Or you
So I
actually
know I'm
read the
safe
little
from them to
thing on
go.
the back of the door to
Always do.
say,
Sometimes I fill it
do
in
you believe
purposely
it? I
with
never
different.
believe them.
I put different information down on it. Like I just put in like comments.
Cleaned,
I
cleaned
put
by
in comments on
whoever.
it, like backed up with corn flavored shit or something like that. So
this
it goes
this is
in.
very Fight Club. You know, Fight Club, like kind
Yeah.
of creating this air of stuff going on
But
in the back.
I
That's
leave comments on.
absolutely
It's the
brilliant,
funniest
Alan.
thing.
I love
Next
that.
time you go in, you have to carry a pen with you, but that's fine. That's the problem. But leave random comments like, oh my, like comments, shit the size of a turtle was left in the bowl. Something random like that. You
Please,
know,
people start doing that and share it on
it's the
social because it's
funniest thing if you
absolutely
read them.
phenomenal. I can't believe
Yeah.
I've never thought of that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. You put random
Oh,
stuff on it, or go. I got these toilets mixed up. I thought I was at home. Something random. It's like what? And you want to go where it's so believable, but at the same time, it's like fuck. Or like went in, found a guy asleep in the toilet with no pants on. I moved him to
yeah.
another cubicle. Just like random stuff. Yeah.
Oh, This whole toilet thing, it's such a good debate because there's so many elements of it. And I have two
I can do
really,
a full podcast on
I
one, Nick,
know,
by the way, if
I
you want.
believe you could. I absolutely believe you could. But one thing I have to say that annoys me is hotel toilets, as in the toilet in your room in your hotel.
Sure.
Why
Okay, go on.
are there never toilet brushes? So I'm sorry. I've
So I
here's
use toilet roll to wipe my ass.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
Oh,
here we
the
go.
up it
We're all
goes.
in on the toilet discussion. So I do apologize if this is turning people off, but just bear with me on this one because I know even though
This
you're
is sponsored
ready,
by Dukalax, helping you shit for the last. It's not. Sorry, just to clarify that it's
not
not. Yeah, yeah.
not
No, I'm not
sponsored.
actually allowed. Yeah, yeah, not
Not
sponsored. Yeah, yeah,
sponsored.
yeah.
Even though everyone has been in this situation, you're at a wedding in a hotel. You've had a shit ton of food, a shit ton of beer, and now you have to do a shit ton, right? The next
Yeah, a ton
day.
of shit. Yeah.
So, toilets in hotels are oddly shaped. So invariably there's going to be some, residue, some marks left in the toilet, okay? Right?
Okay.
What do you do at home? You use a toilet brush. Why don't hotels have
So,
toilet brushes
so I have a
anymore?
question
That's
for you here in this.
because then you're leaving it for someone else to clean it, which is
Yeah.
fucking gross.
So here's the thing. Would you ever, and I've had this conversation with people before, and it's very interesting the response you get just to clarify, I don't go up and people out and doing this as a survey once and on Grab
Sounds
Street
like
going,
you
I have a
do.
question for you.
Well, we're going to do that
Is
here. So if you've had similar
yeah,
scenarios
if
in hotels,
if there's
please
yeah,
let us know.
but if there's a shit stain on the toilet, would you not wipe it down with toilet roll?
Well, I have, yes. Yes,
So
I
I've asked
have.
someone
I
before and
have.
they
But
went,
what
oh,
about the
that's
ones under
disgusting.
the water?
That's use your piss jet to clear that one. Everyone knows that one.
Not
Do you know what
always. No, but you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
know,
It's
I
like
know what you know. I do
I
know
don't
what you mean.
understand why is
Yeah.
there no toilet brush? It's the most basic
I've not, I've never
bathroom
seen
necessity apart
or
from
not
toilet
seen
roll.
that.
I
I've never
have.
noticed that before. Are you definitely in the bathroom? You're not in the kitchen. Just to clarify, you're definitely in the bathroom, like out
I
the
think
window,
so.
going,
I think so. I
like,
was
why is
drunk.
this
Okay, I was
seat
drunk.
so
So okay,
fluffy? You're
yeah.
on your pillow with a hole cut in it. You're sitting on a chair beside the
Oh
office
God,
desk
yeah,
that's in the room. Yeah,
yeah.
I double
That's
check that.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
But
I'll come
anyway,
back on that one.
that was a very, very graphic
If you have been
conversation.
upset by any of the conversations we had,
Yeah,
please continue to listen. We love you.
yeah,
It gets
yeah,
better. We're not always talking about poop.
yeah.
Or
So
glory
something else,
slits.
yeah, yeah. Something else that's very topical that's been annoying me, a very swift change. And I don't know if this is a global thing, but it's definitely in Ireland, is whenever there's European elections coming up or local elections, all the politician posters are put up around the place.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely everywhere, up along the post. I don't know if that's just Ireland. I don't really know. But what really they annoy me anyway, but really, really annoys me is they end up blocking things like traffic lights. So you can't see the traffic light because one of the political posters is
Yes,
in the
they're
way.
so badly placed. Yeah, I
So
have
badly
I have
placed.
issues with the political posters, and I don't want to make this a political thing because I'm not a political person. And no, you're not either. Maybe you are.
No, not at all.
No,
No, not at all.
the fact that they're everywhere, right? Surely
Everywhere.
that's overkill. Too many ads means nobody basically has ads, right?
Yeah.
You're not telling me anything. You're telling me to vote for someone who I don't even know who they are. So that I have
Yeah.
an issue with
Based
that.
upon how they look, like he looks like a good, trustworthy guy. I
Yeah.
would just
So
have my
there's
name in huge writing. That's it.
talking about looks. So I was recently speaking with a printer who prints these, and they said they're
I
reusing the
like an
same.
actual person
No,
or a
a
machine
person who
in the
works
corner of the
in a
office going,
printer, who
"Hey there,
works in a
princess.
printer.
Hey there, princess.
Hey there, baby. Who
Princess.
prints
Did I
these,
get that?
and he was
Princess.
saying this guy was saying that they are reusing pictures from years ago because they look better in them.
Oh, so it's
And
like Tinder.
because
It's like
there's no
political Tinder.
date, so they can use the same ones over and over again, and it's cheaper. But my issue with it is none of them. Now I know this is. I don't want to start a whole plastic recycling thing, but they're all non-recyclable plastic. Every
Oh, yeah,
single
yeah, good
poster,
point.
including the Green
The
Party.
green part.
Now
Yeah, that's a good point.
there are hundreds of thousands of these around the country because right
Yeah.
now the local and European elections, whatever. So literally there would be hundreds of thousands, or if not, at least 100,000 of these.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Where are they all going? They're not recyclable. I have an
They're
issue
not
with that.
recyclable.
No,
Now,
no. And this is
what
from
it,
the mouth of a printer who said they're not recyclable. Whether that's true or not,
Even
I don't know.
maybe.
Correct me
Yeah, I
if
don't
it's
know.
wrong, but I
Surely
don't know.
that cardboard have to be. Surely that. Yeah, but no, that's a good point. It's good way. But
So,
what I do like about a lot of these posters though is the ingenuity of some people's artwork of drawing faces on some of these people. There was
oh,
one
you mean
where
like
somebody
graffiti, people graffitiing them?
graffitied
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
There was one,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember who it was, and basically it was a speech bubble that said, "Hello, I'm an asparagus," and he painted the picture green, and had spiky green asparagus shoots coming out of his head. I'm like, where did that even come from? But it was genius.
Oh, see, that's one of the times when you go into the toilet after this person and you write on those leaflets on the back of the door, the
Smelled like
it
asparagus.
smells like asparagus. Yeah. Yeah. No, the graffiti, look, graffiti is great at times. I find it so funny. And
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
funny on these posters, to
yeah.
be fair.
I actually appreciate a lot of good graffiti. It depends on if it's damaging graffiti and something fucking stupid. But a lot of times it's on like an abandoned wall somewhere. And actually it looks really, really nice. A lot of graffiti looks
It
really,
can,
really
yeah,
good.
some of it can be really, really cool. And going back to bathrooms, some of the funniest
Some
graffiti
funny ones.
are in
The drunk
bathrooms.
octopus one, ever see that one?
Drunk octopus, yeah, yeah. Like some
Are
of
you
them are
having a
just
nice
so
shit?
good and so funny. Or like,
Yeah.
follow the dotted line and you're following it up everywhere. I remember there was one I saw, you're following up on the ceiling and go, and you're like literally you're having a piss looking at all this dotted lines everywhere, and then it goes, and the very last one was you've just pissed on your shoes. And I had because I'd followed the dotted lines. It was brilliant. I was like, that is
So
brilliant.
you know what the funny thing is? I'm gonna make something relatable to this. And this is going is you go for a piss in the toilet as normal. But if you're going for a piss wearing sandals, how much spray goes on your foot? You're like,
Alan,
what?
Alan,
Is that
no,
normal?
no, no, no. This has to be the crudest podcast we've done
It's
yet. And I
fine.
love
This
it,
is
right? I love it
podcast
because this is what
number
people
34,
I don't know. I actually can't
33,
remember anymore.
33 and
We'll
a
know
third.
we
We should make it
33 and a third. We'll know
30. We
when
should have talked it like that about the whole thing.
we'll know when we post it. But
Yeah, 33.
okay, I have an issue with what you just said. Number one, pissing on your shoes. Okay, that's a thing that happens. And
But number one is what it is.
if you're someone who doesn't believe that happens, ask someone. It's a thing. Two, why are you
You might
wearing?
realize it though a lot of times.
I have an issue with sandals, Alan. I've
Oh,
recently
it's in
bought
general. Oh yeah,
sandals.
yeah. No, but
I
if you're on
men in
holidays, I'm not talking
sandals,
about in general.
men in
Yeah.
sandals. No, it's just not. It's just
Wearing socks as
actually,
well with them.
yeah, but actually, women in sandals with feet in
Different.
general. I'm just feet.
Are
Ugh.
you not a foot
Right.
person? I don't have a foot fetish,
Absolutely. No, no,
but
no, no.
I can appreciate a nice foot. No matter how I say that,
Quote of
like
the
I said, I
podcast.
yeah,
I can
I had
appreciate a nice foot.
but yeah, well, no, you know what I mean. Like some people
Yeah.
just have nice feet, you know. And I have zero
I
foot
don't
fetish,
think
and I
I've ever
genuinely
said that once, and
really
I'm
okay.
going to be right. So
What about hands?
I've
But like, you know,
recently
some people have
bought
nice
sandals.
hands.
So it's holiday season. I've bought
Sandals or flip flops?
and well, actually, I'm not sure what they are. Right. So flip flops, to my knowledge, are the ones when your toe that little
That's it.
stalk is between your
The
toes.
G string for your toe.
Vomit. Right. Sandals are kind of straps, but this is like just that strap that goes over just your toes. So I don't know what they're called.
Oh yeah.
Slides? Is it slides? No, everyone
We're
says I don't
getting
know.
way
Anyway,
too
but I
technical
have an
now.
issue with that. But there's a holiday, and I have it for a holiday for around the pool. You know that kind of okay, fine. That I can tolerate that because men, it just shouldn't be a thing, right? So both me and we were walking down Main Street in Wexford there a while ago, and we saw a man wearing sandals, right? And we both looked down, and he had French manicured feet, and we both looked at each other and
What's
retched.
French manicure? It's like
You
with the
know a
white
French
tip one.
manicure where the white
No,
tip.
because I'm a guy.
You know what no, would you know what
I
a French man?
don't.
Okay,
I know what a manicure. Well, a
oh,
pedicure is your foot, and a manicure is your hand, isn't it?
yeah. So yeah, well, he had
Yeah.
French.
Was he
He had
walking on his hands, handstands? His feet. Look at the length of his toes.
no. Put your feet away. And why have you got your nails done? And I know that's probably sexist. I don't care. I don't want to see your feet. I especially don't want to see that you put time into getting your nails done on your toes.
But that's why he has his feet out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to show these bad boys off.
Maybe, and I know some people are into that, and that's fine because we're all into things. But I'm just not into feet. I'm just not. I'm
not into feet either. But again, I can appreciate a good foot. Same as
sorry, that's the second time you've said exactly that.
Same as a good haircut.
I'm not
you can
into
appreciate a good
dicks,
haircut,
but I can appreciate a nice knob.
Well, I can't every time I get undressed, baby. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Um,
I honest to God, I've never ever once said, "Geez, that's a nice looking foot." It's not ever
I've
going to
never
come.
said that, but
No,
there's some nice feet and there's some really ugly feet.
no,
Same as some people have nice hands
no.
and some
There's
people have ugly
ugly,
hands. Some
and
people have
then
nice.
there's really ugly.
Listeners, you know what? You know what? I
Send
want
us.
people to answer
Alan
this.
wants pictures of your feet. Send in pictures of your feet to the lads at
People just have
headreg.com,
their hands
and
in
we'll
sandals
judge if
instead.
they're ugly or not. Yeah, well, this has been a very, very crude episode. I like it though. It's good. But these are the conversations, these are conversations that are had with everyday people, aren't they?
Yeah, or you have it in your own mind when you're at home and going, "Am I
Absolutely.
psychopathic? Psychopathic? Am I psychopathic? Am I
Is that right?
psychotic?
Why does that
No,
sound
am I
wrong?
psychotic? Telepathic? Yeah, a
Yeah.
psychopath, but you're not psychopathic. You're a psychopath. You're not psychopathic.
Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sure? It must be.
yeah.
No, you
No,
must be able.
you're a
No, okay.
psychopath, or you're a
I've actually got a
psychotic.
Scrabble dictionary next to me. I don't think that'll be in it because you probably don't have enough letters to make that word. So it's no
A
point checking it.
Scrabble dictionary?
Scrabble
You take
dictionary.
Scrabble way too serious.
Scrabble
Well, hang
dictionary.
on. Is a Scrabble
Chambers. I'm
dictionary
holding
not
up.
just the same as a normal dictionary?
That's Alan. You've just brought up one of the most valid arguments we have when we've played Scrabble. We're always like, get the Scrabble dictionary. I'm like, just get a dictionary. They're
Yeah,
the
if
same
it's a
words.
word.
Now, in fairness, we were gifted this book. It was given to us by someone in the family because we play Scrabble.
Oh, well, are they
But
listening? It's a really good book. Really good book. I can
thank
see
you
how
so
grateful you are
much.
for it.
I really appreciate the present. But surely it's the same as a normal dictionary. Exactly. My
Yeah.
point is, you're so stupid as people that we fall for these things. Oh no, we
Gimmicks.
need to
No,
get a
no, but you
dictionary for
didn't.
Scrabble.
Your
Get
family member did. Just want to
and can I
clarify that.
just say, as you can see from look at
It's a
that, the
big
spine, it's
book.
barely been bent, it's barely been opened, that spine, like because we're just
Well, that's
like
a big L dictionary
it,
size book.
it but it is just a dictionary.
But
Like,
here's the
but
question: why are dictionaries different sizes? Surely it's the same amount of words in all of them.
that's a good point. Yeah, because now, Alan, I swear to God, I like literally have an English school. All right, I literally have in my hand Family Scrabble Dictionary and the English School Dictionary. And the English School Dictionary spot the
It's a
education
big,
system in Ireland. The English School Dictionary is exactly half the size of the
but
Scrabble
is the font
Dictionary.
smaller? I wonder.
No,
He's checking this now,
it's
listeners. He's
exactly
opening the
the
book.
same.
So
It's
how is it
exactly the
smaller? It's
same.
the same number
And
of words.
and for some reason, the school dictionary is in two color. It's highlighted as two color. I don't know why.
Well, it was one color. You couldn't see it. It'd be the same color as the page.
Yeah,
Do
I
you know
need
Miss
to
White
see what
page?
this two color is.
Yeah,
It's blue and
wait.
black for some reason. I don't know
So
why.
why are
Anyway,
dictionaries different sizes?
okay.
That's
And
going
if
to
we
wreck
want to
people's
go
heads
all
now.
out on the dictionary, exactly. So you're talking.
Like a
Okay, so
pocket
Alan's
dictionary.
beef now is number one. Why do we have a Scrabble dictionary? Surely it's a dictionary. I totally agree with you there. Why are the different sizes? Okay, so we've got the school dictionary here, half the size of the Scrabble dictionary. You would think it should be double if it's school and learning.
Well, it should be
Then
the same size at least.
it's ridiculous that I even have these right next to me, but I do. And I did not know we were going to talk about dictionaries. I now have a Collins French dictionary, which is
Oh, but it's the
could fit
tiny
in
one.
your pocket twice over.
Right. You need to take a picture of the three of them together and put them up.
I literally just had them and did not know. So
Yeah.
literally, I don't know. I just happen to have
They're all
these.
different sizes.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And look, if you
But
want
is
to
there
go,
French?
and
Is it?
here's an Irish English dictionary as well.
Yeah.
So there you
So
go.
so is the French dictionary in English to French or just a French word dictionary?
It is.
Your wife speaks French, doesn't she?
She does. She's fluent in French. It's French
The French.
to
So it's a dictionary.
French to English. French to English. There you go. And English, yeah. There you go. Right. So if anyone can tell us why dictionaries
So
are different sizes, surely they're
I have a
always should
follow-on
all be the same.
question to this.
Right, go on.
If it's a French to English dictionary, is the first half French to English and the second half English to French?
Well, I can tell you right now that
Because otherwise you'd never
yeah,
have to
it's
find the
both.
English word.
It's both exactly halfway through. It goes back
Oh, it
to
changes. Okay.
yeah, it changes over. There you go.
I don't
So
open up
again, so
dictionaries.
surely that should be like
It should be like in
twice the
quadruple the
size of
size.
the other ones, but it's
Yeah.
the smallest. Alan, this is
It's a
baffling. This is head wrecking. I
simulation.
don't
We're living in a
understand it. I'm
simulation.
actually sweating.
They're all different sizes, but that one has double the amount of words because it's French and
I
English.
know. It's
So,
baffling.
but it's like
Sacre bleu.
1/4 the size. Sacre bleu, mon Dieu.
That
a
is
buff.
that is
Yeah.
hilarious that you start talking about, and I did literally just happen to have them there because this is the study where there are books and shit. But
And
there you go.
genuinely, listeners, we don't plan these
We don't.
conversations.
We don't.
We did it for once before we realized it didn't work, so we just don't
Yeah.
plan them at all.
I actually don't
So,
think we aired that episode. There was an episode where we planned stuff, and I actually don't think we aired it
oh,
because
do we?
it was
Okay.
just it was no, it was
We've
just too.
recorded a lot of episodes.
We
So just
do.
to clarify, listeners, going, if you think this episode today is the very low brow and crude, the ones that don't make it
Imagine
to
what you
air,
don't hear.
yeah, exactly. Imagine what exactly that.
Yeah.
We've often thought about going, should we do like a snippets episode of all of them? But we would be cancelled within
Absolute
10
total
minutes.
cancelled in it would, but you know what? In a way, we'd probably get even more listeners because it's so horrific. Yeah, there you go.
Like so horrific. Like this is stuff where by going is
yeah.
if you came public with it, people like, okay, you'd actually have the police slash the
Oh, we would,
Gardaí, as
yeah.
they're called in Ireland,
People I think
at the
we're
door.
absolutely insane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's slightly head wrecking because
But
I
that's
would
okay.
love to
I'm
hear
okay
them.
with that. I'm okay with that being class being slightly insane. It's fun. It means you get away with a lot more then. You know, we go, oh, there's Matt Allen. He's all right. You know.
Yeah. Oh, there's Alan, your man who looks through glory slits and toilets and uses
And has
toilet
a heavy
brushes
soap.
and hamster soap and all. Yeah, yeah.
Something else that has wrecked my head, John.
Go on. Go
is
on. Let's
this is a
try and
common
clean
thing,
up
and
this
and
episode
and,
a
and
bit.
I drive quite regularly. I think you drive regularly enough as well, don't you?
I do.
You would drive regularly
I
enough?
drive a lot with work, yeah.
Slow walkers. So when they cross the road and they somehow walk really slowly at a diagonal, and like just walk in a straight line, they'll cross
Yeah.
the road quicker, but they walk slowly diagonally, and then you're going, move out of the fucking way, you cabbage. Like
Yes.
they're walking
Yes.
so slowly, and you have to kind of drive around them, and then you're sitting there going, for fuck's sake, and you have to come to a stop nearly. It's like
Yes, yes, that is head wrecking. And I will tell you because, and this is no word of a lie, Alan. I honestly think we're sometimes psychically. I don't know. I'm getting mixed up with words today in the.
Well, you have a dictionary beside you if you need one.
Which one do I choose?
Yeah, the bigger one that will happen in
Okay,
yeah.
but I think we're psychic in ways because honestly, on a daily basis, and I'm not joking, I think of it's not a saying. I don't know what it's a mathematical theory of the
Equation?
shortest. No.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
The shortest distance between
Algebra,
2 points
not algebra.
is a straight
Trigonometry?
line. I don't know what it is. I can't remember.
Trigonometry?
Listeners, if you can tell us what this quote is from, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Okay, that's a known fact. It's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And I always think that every day I'm looking at things and measuring things. Shut up, Alan. Measuring. But all I think of when you say people walking in diagonal and across the road, the shortest distance between 2 points, you pick that point right in front of you, go straight across.
But they're trying to get further up the road, and that's the reason why they're crossing diagonal.
No, but that's a longer distance. You cross straight
but not
necessarily
because they're going to walk up. No, because they're walking up to, let's say, 4 doors up, shall we say? So diagonally, they're walking from their point on one side of the road to that house or shop 4 doors up.
Okay, well then they are doing the shortest distance between 2 points. Yeah,
they are.
But the quickest way to cross
slowly.
the road is straight across.
Exactly. They're two different things.
Yeah,
they're two very different things.
True.
It's like going, they're walking really slowly. You're like, hurry up! Like you can't beat them, you can't flash them. And they're on their phone, they're not paying attention. It's like, really?
That's why people jaywalk, isn't it? Because it's the shortest distance is to go that diagonal straight to the point you want to get to. It may not be the safest. It's the same as all those lines and pathways. And there's this, and I can't for the life of me think of them, but it's like, you know, if you have an open field, paths from people walking the shortest distance will invariable
what the engineer designed versus user tested.
Exactly. Yeah. What people in a natural world use, and loads of colleges and universities around the world have used those to kind of make the grounds really accessible to students, apparently, by looking at the way people walk between 2 points. This is the way my mind works on a daily basis, and it's very sad. But I think that is why people jaywalk. I think you made a valid point.
No, jaywalk is fine. I'm not problem with jaywalking, but walk quick if there's a car driving towards you. Or don't step out in the road and go, I'm going to speed up to the middle of the road and then slow down. It's like, if you can walk fast to this point, you can walk fast the other half.
Look, it's an Irish thing. So we had a listener that sent a message, and and I can't play the message. I can play it, but it's going to sound very distorted. So this was a listener who sent in a message a while ago. So this is from Jamie T, we'll say his name is, and he was
Male or
giving out
female, Jamie?
male, giving out about a person parking, and they kept on reversing and bumped into his car, even though they had seen him. And it was an old Irish person, and gave him the nod, and still bumped into his car, and he was really pissed off about it. But when I say the nod, he gave him the finger nod. You know the old Irish finger nod, your hands on the steering
I
wheel,
have,
little.
yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're an Irish person, you've seen that. You can always see that. But for this old person, the shortest distance between 2 points was to reverse into Jamie T's car and get out of there, which I'm not going to lie, I found very hilarious.
Now here's an interesting, well, not an interesting thing, but you have a French dictionary. So over, I know in France, and actually,
Interesting.
oh, très magnifique. Sorry, French listeners, for bastardizing that, but I know you like the Irish people typically, so we're all right. Is I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, so in a lot of European countries, they use their bumpers for what they are. They bump off other cars to move in and out of spaces. That's what they actually use them for. If you look at a lot of clips, and it's a big thing in
to be
France,
fair,
from my
they do
understanding,
bend and they don't like
yeah,
cause
they pop
damage
in
to
and
the
out.
car. That's the whole point.
No,
I
it's
know,
not
but it
like,
still
yeah.
pisses you
It's
off
what they
when it
call
happens,
bumpers,
though.
so you can bump people, not
Yeah,
call like pedestrian bumpers.
I know. I
You know,
had
for the
to do
slow
that trick.
walkers,
You know that bumper trick when you get a
hot
dent
water.
in the hot water in the kettle. I had to do that probably about a year and a half ago, because I was, to be fair, I shouldn't have been driving. I had just had a row with the other half, and I was like, "All right, I'm going for a drive," and I reversed straight into a tree and put a massive dent in the bumper. And obviously,
Ah,
that made me even more angry for two
sure,
reasons. One,
yeah,
I put a big dent in the bumper, and two, it was
sure.
outside the house, and I knew she saw it, so it pissed me off even more because she got
Should
satisfaction.
have heard it as well. Here, crunch,
Yeah,
crunch. Is that the
and
same
I
car
know
you
the
have
neighbor
now?
saw it as well. No, it's fine. You would never ever even know it happened. And
Yeah,
I
no,
did
like,
that trick of boiling the kettle and pouring it, and I put my hand in behind and
and
shoved
she
it
was
down.
probably like,
And
ah,
it
he
just
does
went.
love me. He's making me a cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah, but I
There you are,
wasn't. I was
throwing
trying to
tea
get.
bags at the bumper and everything.
No, it was actually really satisfying. So if you do need to get a dent out of your bumper, boil the kettle, pour it on it. You might have to do it once or twice, and
So,
then put
unless
your
you're
hand in
American,
behind
that
and
means you need to.
push, and
They
then
don't have
what?
kettles in America. You're going to have to get a bowl of cold water, put it in a microwave, and heat it
America,
up.
can you confirm if you have kettles or not?
They
Because
don't
I
have the
do
same
not
kettles that we
believe
have.
Alan.
They've stove top kettles. No, the ones we have to open turn on the
No,
stove.
there's no
Yes,
way. They must have the
yes.
same. So, okay, right. Well, then we need to set the scene. So, in Ireland, we have a kettle that you plug into the wall, and it has a
Yeah.
circular base, and you plop the kettle on top of that.
Why are kettles
Tradition-
circular and not
No, they
square?
traditionally have a circular
Yeah,
base.
but why are they circular? Why are kettles circular?
But
Surely that's the least amount.
because when it's boiling, you want the bubbles round. If it was a square one, the bubbles would be square when it's boiling.
Get a try. Hey, but shouldn't a triangle kettle actually makes more sense because of how you pour it, if anything?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, why are they? I
Why
don't
are
know.
dictionaries different sizes? Why are kettles round?
Please
I'm
tell us.
assuming kettles are round because they used to, because there were stovetop kettles were always round, but because
Yeah, but
that's
why
the shape of a
though?
stove top is always round.
Yeah, I
But why do
suppose. And a
electric ones go
flame
round?
to typically will be
But
round.
when you look
Yeah.
at the stove counter, they're always round. The rings are round. Well, that's why they're called rings. But
Mm,
why are electric kettles round? Why are
yeah.
microwaves square? You know, like,
Yeah,
well, they're
wouldn't
technically
it
not
make
square.
sense to have, well, I mean, to fit
Imagine
them
a round
into
microwave.
spaces?
That makes
Yeah.
much more sense
A
because
proper,
it turns
fully
around anyway.
domed round microwave. You don't have to worry
That
about
will,
your
yeah,
food hitting the
it would look
sides.
cool, like
Yeah.
an old iMac.
Oh my
You know
God.
what I
Yeah, they
mean?
were
Yeah.
so cool. The kind of see-through colored ones. Yeah, they were
It
class.
was in Zoolander, and he goes, "The files are inside," and
There
then he
is
throws
the
them smashing.
machine. No, I tell you, it's funny because I think, did we mention Home and Away in our last podcast? We were talking about Home and
Yes,
Away, the American soap opera. The first time I ever
the
saw the colored,
Australian one,
or
not
not,
the
sorry,
American one.
Australian. The first time I ever saw that was when Sally in Home and Away. Please tell me if you have a picture of this. Please send it to me. Sally had one of the colored IMAX. I think it might have been blue, and I was like, "That's so fucking cool!" And there's a handle to let you carry it because we all carry TVs around with us. You know, you could just lift them and carry
It's a
it around.
laptop.
It was essentially a laptop, a tabletop that you could carry around. Yeah. Oh, gone are the days, huh?
Yeah, so why are kettles round?
You're not letting this go. Okay, people.
No.
So what
Why are
people need to
bowls round?
understand is
Why are
our
bowls
head.
round?
Yeah, well, it makes it easier to get the little
Why
bit.
are plates round?
No, I get the bowls being round. So just think of it.
But not in the press. Because you have to go fit in the corner, then you have a big gap. Because the press you put probably your bowls and stuff is a
Yes.
square rectangle shape
Okay, so
anyway.
the bowl can stay round, but the press should be round to
But
fit
then it
it.
won't go in, it won't slide in. But the press should be round. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
But
make
people
them
have square
square if they
bowls.
don't fit properly.
Square
Yeah,
bowls
but
are annoying. You
the
can't get the
standard
last
is
bit in the corner with the
yeah,
spoon.
this is right.
Unless the spoon is
Anyway,
square. Okay, everything has to be symmetrical. If you've got square
but it
bowls, you
fits
need
better.
square spoons.
Yeah, like a round glass, square glass. Anyway, so what's wrecking my head is going, why have we picked certain shapes for things and never questioned them?
Yeah, that is a really good point. And if we delve into this is going to go so deep, isn't it? Because like you can literally, why are our TV screens square or rectangle? They should be
Widescreen.
round, surely. Because as you're looking through your eye, it's actually circular, isn't it? I know it's kind of hard to work out
No,
what shape it
you've
is.
wider peripheral vision on the side than you do above. So if you put your hands like this and put them at the side, you'd see them at the side. That's the
And it's so
logical
funny
reason
because
why.
as you did that, the screen replicated me being able to see and not being able to see where your hands were. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Let's see.
Yeah,
Strike the
yeah.
pose. I'm doing like
He's
walk
literally
like
doing
an
Vogue.
walk. Yeah. No, I was gonna say walk like an Egyptian piece. But anyway,
No,
this has been a very weird one today. We kind of just ranted
we
about a lot of
yeah,
random
but
things,
you know
but we
what? This is
uncovered a
where
lot of
we
stuff.
need our listeners to give us the answers to these things. Like from
Or their
like
thoughts at
we
least
get a
anyway.
lot of messages that we just cannot read out. We just can't. This is where we need you guys to tell us like how to get our heads unwrecked, really, to be honest. Because my head actually there's so many unanswered questions in this one. Yeah, that is wrecking my head. And that's where we have to leave it. Another head wreck. It's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, Alan. Thank you for being here. Again, send us your stuff to the lads at headwreck.com and get us on the
You
social.
never
I
remember us.
never remember. I just
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I have too much
Head
in my head.
underscore rect. Yeah, exactly. Head
Do
underscore rect and all the
send us
socials.
your voice messages, your pictures, your emails, whatever. We love getting them and we'll read out and deal with what we can. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. See you at the next one.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Slán.
Bye.